What up, ninjas? Came at you with the interview. Getting ready to roll out. Decided we can't leave this fucking house without fucking finding out something about it. Because this motherfucker is hella historic. Always rumored to be haunted. Fucking, so we gonna talk to somebody that knows some shit about it. And fucking, that's what we about to do. Alright, so.
That would be the show to do.
Alright, tell me.
Prozac. Yeah. You, Prozac, haunted house. Fuck yeah.
Tell me everything you know about the history of this house.
Okay.
You can tell them who you are if you want. I mean, it's up to you.
I'm Megan. This is Rick. He's Red Fox Indy.
Dope. You gonna get that interview, man. Get
He's
that
the
interview.
photographer. I am the shipping manager. It's an inside joke. The house, like the main part of the house, was built in 1858. It was built by Alexander Hanna, and he made his money
in the California Gold Rush.
Yeah, he went out west, made his money in the gold rush, came back. I think his father was a politician of some sort in Indiana. I've heard this like a million times, so I just kind of absorbed it.
When he came back from the California Rush, he made so much money during the Gold Rush that he could afford to make this house 3 bricks thick. So it's not just one brick, it is layers of brick on there.
Back in that time, they taxed your house based on how many rooms you had.
How many doors?
Yeah, how many doors. So even a closet that opened was a room. And this, I believe there's 28 rooms total, counting all the closets, all the doors that open. There's literally like 4 bedrooms on the top floor. There's a parlor and a front room and kitchen, summer kitchen.
There's
office,
milk house,
smokehouse. The chicken coop is now bathrooms.
Yep. And in the 40s, they built a stage for blues concerts.
Mm-hmm. I think there's 7 wells on the property.
Yep.
And some of them there's one that's dry and open, and then there's one that's covered with plywood down there and open. So.
And this property was originally 200 acres, so it was quite a large bit. This was in the boonies back then.
This is the boring part. We'll get to the good part, I promise. Anyway.
Good shit.
Yeah. This is history. So, like I said, Alexander Hanna, he had the house, him and his wife. When he married his wife, he built this part over here as a gift for her in the 1870s. They had a child who died either as a miscarriage or childbirth or something. A lot of people say that child has something to do with the weird stuff in the house. I think that's kooky. That's not what has to do with it. Alexander Hanna was an abolitionist, and this house was actually part of the Underground Railroad, and he kept slaves hidden in the basement, in the cellar. And the rumor or the history, like, there's no solid place where we can find this, but the story is that there were slaves in the basement, and they kicked over a lantern, and this caught the straw that they were sleeping on fire. I've heard that there's 3 to 5 was the number that I was given, and they all died down there in the basement. And since you would get in trouble for harboring runaway slaves, and even in Indiana, he just buried them in the basement.
Because Indiana was they were against the slavery, but it was still illegal to harbor an escaped slave. So they couldn't just give them proper burial. They buried them in the basement here to keep it hidden, so they could keep using it as a stop on the Underground Railroad, so people could keep getting to freedom.
Later on, the house was eventually sold to a family called their name was Ehler. It was like a German name, and eventually they changed it to Elder, because people changed their names to get more common as time goes on. And they've owned the house ever since. Many people have lived here in the servants' quarters, the part that was built for his wife. People have lived in the servants' quarters because it was converted into an apartment. We know at least one person has died in the servants' quarters, if not 2. And other than that, we don't know how many people have lived in the main house. We know at one point it was in the 70s, they decided to close it down, they sold everything in the house, they got rid of it. And this room right here, they call this Grandma's room. She's got a complete bedroom set. They sold her bedroom set, sold it to an antique store. And apparently, several years later, they decided we're gonna open the house back up again. They found Grandma's bedroom set.
Oh, wow.
Whole fucking set. Found the whole thing with like her initials in the back, like it was.
That's crazy.
And her picture and everything.
Everything.
And so whenever you go in that room, you have to say hi, Grandma, or else she'll get on your ass.
We believe Grandma lives in that room. A lot of people believe Grandma lives in that room.
She's gotten on my ass
That
a few
would
times.
be. Would that be Grandma Ayler?
Yes.
So that would be with the Ayler side of the family. So she would be an older German lady. And you can sometimes see those curtains kind of like move.
Bosley has seen them
somebody's looking out. A lot of people feel like somebody's watching. She's not like malicious or anything. She's just like, she's an older woman that wants to know what's going on in her house.
Yeah, and we've heard tales of people saying, the walls bleed.
Yeah.
It's like, that's some exorcist shit. That doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
There's nothing dangerous or harmful
What
here.
happens is you smell cherry tobacco smoke because Mr. Hanna, who built the house, was known to smoke cherry tobacco in his pipe. He would come upstairs and hide from his wife, and he'd come out here and hide from his wife, and he'd smoke cherry tobacco. And so you smell it all the time. Things walk around the property at night.
It's always in the room that you're not in. So you'll be in one room, and then you'll hear things clearly going on in the next room. So you're like, all right. So you go there and you start trying to see what's up, and then you'll hear it in the room you're in originally.
Wow.
It's like,
And then you'll hear something outside on the porch.
yeah.
Or you'll hear something out. We hear cars pull up a lot because we have a gravel drive, and we'll go outside. There's nobody here. We're like, okay, well, maybe it's just echoing off the other side, whatever. The interesting thing, we did get married here. We met here on Halloween. We got married here the next Halloween, and we've lived here ever since. And the day of our wedding, I knocked on the window of the office. The office is a storage room, and we believe that a lot of spirits go there to hang out because nobody goes there. Like, that's kind of where they oh, nobody's gonna bother us here, it's cool. I knocked on the window and I said, hey, if anybody wants to come to my wedding, it's today. We've got extra seats for you. Come, do what you want, whatever. The whole day, before anybody ever got here, we heard cars pulling in constantly. Nobody was pulling in across the street. Nothing was going on.
And you know that crunch of gravel. It's a clear sound.
Yeah.
It was
That's
Halloween.
what it is.
It was a Monday in the middle of the afternoon, so the neighborhood was practically dead. And we just kept hearing things pulling in. And practically everything went perfect that day, except for one thing. There was a vase that was sitting on a table, and I said, what did we say?
I said, I'm not responsible if that falls over.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And I set it down, I walked away and immediately fell over and broke. And that was the second time I've had one of those vases break before the wedding. So I was like, you know what, fucking I have one vase, that's cool. Let's see. But like I said, things walk around the property at night. Black shadows. You sit up here and you see things out of the corner of your eye. Things like knock on the bottom of this porch.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
We've had a face look at us through these blinds before.
We've been in the car with the headlights on. And
That would fuck me up. I'll be high as shit.
I know.
well, here's the thing. We were sitting down there with our car. It was raining real hard, but we were sitting there, and headlights. It'll shine right through the water. But in the headlights that were on the building, you kept seeing shadows clearly rippling through the lights, and we're just sitting there like, what the fuck is that? And we came back later and we tried to get that to happen. Didn't happen again, and it hasn't happened since.
And
It's
the thing is, like I said, we only know of the two families that have lived here, but their original plot of land was like
200 acres.
200 acres. So think of 200 acres here in the middle of Indianapolis.
They built the first toll road in Indiana.
Yeah, they had a toll road. How many people went through that toll road?
Hannah Avenue.
How much energy would have been on their farm? Because they had a farm. They had a freaking chicken coop. They had a barn.
Well, how many people love this property? And
Thousands of people have come here ever since this place was built because it's it's a gathering place. They've had it as a commercial haunted house for several years, which they stopped doing for a while. But there's so much energy here that it attracts a lot of people and a lot of things. And most of the things here, I'm not an expert on this. I'm not like a sensitive or anything like that, but a lot of the things here just seem to be like, this is where I live and this is where I'm gonna stay. It's very rare that we run into anything that just scares the shit out of us, and we're like, we're not fucking with that.
Yeah, nothing malicious.
There was one night we came home from a really, really bad convention. A terrible convention in Chicago.
Oh, shit.
And it was like the worst.
During a super full moon.
It was a super full moon. Everybody that went there with us had a nervous fucking breakdown. We drove back from Chicago. It was fucking horrible.
One of my friends from high school tried to kill his fiance in Disney World.
And she, and later she came over to talk to us about it. And it was like, you know, we're just commiserating back and forth. Like, this was so awful. It was such an awful weekend. It's horrible. You know, fuck him, fuck Chicago, blah, 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 blah.
And things started fucking with us here. Hardcore. I mean, we heard stomping going.
Some things started, like, jumping through the trees. Some things started stomping out here on the balcony. Like, I'm shaking
the grapevine from the wall.
There's a grapevine on the other side of the wall. It got fucking pulled down. We went in the apartment, and something's banging on the outside of the apartment. We're like, the fuck is this?
Like clear stomping, and I immediately open the door, and it stops.
So, the friend that our friend brought with her, she's like, we gotta do something about this. I have some sage in the apartment. We saged as much place as we could. We told anything that was fucking with us to get the fuck off the property. I said, if you're not nice, get the fuck out of here, basically. Did that for about half an hour.
Things cooled down.
We're like, okay, yeah, that's cool, whatever. Suddenly there's a big crash out there on the road because this car fucking hits the curb, clips a telephone pole, and fucking
took it down.
Loses 2 wheels.
Destroyed the telephone pole.
There's a bunch of people fucking street racing out
ripped
there.
Ripped off one of the wheels off the axle.
Yeah. I don't know if that
and it like twirled back around in the middle of the road, knocked down a power line.
No idea if that has anything to do with what happened here, but
something couldn't fuck with us here.
So yeah, everything seemed to be quiet here, and then suddenly some shit happens out there, so I don't know what that's about.
And our things always get misplaced.
Our things always get misplaced in our apartment. We do live in the servants' quarters that's been converted into the apartment. It's a small little 600 square foot
We'll find
dorm
things
room.
under the table.
We love it. Yeah, things will end up under our kitchen table for no goddamn reason. Things that have been put in the bedroom.
Do you guys have access to the rest of the house?
Unfortunately, no. I wish we did, because I would love to like go in there and just go over the housekeep.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask and see if we could get a tour at some point. But if you're not,
about Grandma's room, she has plants in her room constantly, and if people don't go in there and water her plants, she waters them for them. It's
plants
common.
Have never died in that room.
Yeah, her plants don't die, whether people forget them or not. Except for these, which got left out, and I'm really sad about that.
Grandma takes care of it.
Grandma takes care of everything, and I think, I honestly
she's the house mom.
Unfortunately, you know, not a lot of attention is paid to the house outside of the people that have been involved with it for a long time. There's not a lot of income coming in. There's not a lot of special events. They do have open houses like once a month, but that's about it. And so
go and find the Hannah House on Facebook, like, share,
the house is like
get the word out again.
Houses are going to show its age.
So you said that they do tours? Somebody does tours?
Every first Sunday of every month, but not.
We're gonna try to get a video. Man, we can set something up where y'all can fucking, you know what I'm saying? When if we can get on a, we'll see if we can work something out.
Yeah.
Try to get a tour with them through the house.
We can do a
check out this. Now see, that is what I'm talking about.
I got all the equipment, bro.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. There's another house. I'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, yeah.
All right, y'all. That's what's up. Fucking thank you to them for letting us know a little bit about this historic haunted house. Fucking, y'all motherfuckers. That's what's up, ninjas.